If I ask you, well, we've already done this before. If I ask you to find, if I ask you to find f of 4, you could do that, right? This just means in your f function, wherever you see an x, you're going to replace it with a 4. So here's an x, I'm going to replace it with a 4. So f of 4, what is that? 12 take away 5, what is that? So f of 4 equals 7. If I asked you to find g of 4, well, now you plug the 4 into the g function. It's like looking at the ceiling. Wherever you see an x, now you're going to put it into the g function. And so here's an x, put in a 4. So what is g of 4? 2. So g of 4 is 2. F of 4 is 7. You should be able to do that already, shouldn't you? Yes. Well, that's not what we're doing today. Today we're going to do composition of functions. Really what that means is like combinations of functions. We're going to do 2 at a time. Doesn't that sound like fun?
No.
Who said no? Priscilla. So if I ask you to find f of g of 4, look at all those parentheses. When you have a bunch of sets of parentheses, where do you start with them? Inside out, right? You start on the inside and you work your way out. So I'm going to start right there with g of 4. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to find g of 4. That means start with the g function, and where you see an x, you shall put a 4. We just did that. What is g of 4? 2. See this? You know what substitution is, right? You take out something and you put in something in its place that's supposed to be equivalent. It doesn't look quite the same. Like tomorrow when I have my personal day, you're going to take me out and put Mr. Pesh in my place.
You're taking a reverse.
I am. Yeah.
Miss
So,
Payne, we
Mr.
need
Pesh.
you.
Oh, I need you to. Yes, of course you'll have an assignment.
Is it a fun sheet or an assignment?
Oh, we'll see, we'll see.
Because I never know how to do it, and then the sub never knows how to do it.
Oh, Mr. Pesh knows how to do it. Mr. Pesh, it's going to be this stuff, so it'll be pretty easy, I think. But now, substitution, where you take out one thing and you put in something in its place, that's equivalent. You see this g of 4?
It's equal to 2.
It's equal to 2. It's equivalent to 2. So right here, where I have this g of 4, what is it equivalent to? 2. So in place of g of 4, I'm going to put a 2. So really now, I'm going to be looking for f of 2. So what I want is, what is f of 2? So I'm going to have to start with the f function. There it is. It's 3x minus 5. And I want f of 2. Wherever I see an x, I'll replace it with a 2. See that 3? X minus 5. That's a 3. That's a 3. 6. 6 minus 5. What is going on?
Well, that ruckus was there.
There's a ruckus over there. What's going on over there?
Screaming in the hallway.
So what is f of 2?
One.
It's 1. You know what that means? That means f of g of 4 equals 1. And that's our answer. It's equal to 1. Whatever you get after you plug that second thing in, that's your answer. Isn't that easy?
Yeah.
Yeah, except you're gonna put something on it now.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. They asked me to do another one, so I did this. Now find g of f of 4. We'll go the opposite way. Won't that be the same thing? Won't it just be equal to 1?
Oh.
No, because it's not f of g of 4. G of f of 4.
Hi, what's the matter? Won't it just be the same thing?
Well, if it's quantum physics, yes. But I don't think they're in that class. They're probably-
No, I don't think so. Uh-oh. I gotta switch her around here. So G of f of 4 means now I'm gonna start right here with f of 4. So I need to find f of 4. I need to find f of 4. What's the f function? See it over there? It's 3x minus 5. But if I want f of 4, where I see the x, I'm going to put a 4 in there. Where I see an x, I'm going to put a 4 in there. So f of 4 equals 12. Take away 5. What is that? F of 4 equals 7. Now, see this right here? Now I'm going to use my substitution.
Oh.
Up here, where I see this f of 4, I'm going to replace it with what it's equivalent to, which is 7. So in place of f of 4, I'm going to put a 7, and now I'm going to need to find g of 7, which means I got to take the g function. What was that again? Square root of x. And where I see the x, I'm going to replace it with 7. That doesn't even come out even.
It's just
So I think I'll just leave it as square root of 7. That's my answer. Square root of 7. If I do it this way, g of f of 4, I get square root of 7. If I do it the other way and do g first, f of g of 4, I get 1. So it does matter what order. It does matter what order. It does matter what order. Anybody with questions on that? Don't look so thrilled. Anybody with questions on that? So, take a good look. If you're watching at home, take a picture of those steps over there, starting with replace f of x with y. You see those steps over there? If you're watching at home, take a picture of those steps. You're going to need those steps. So either take a picture of those steps or write them down. If you're watching at home, take a picture of those steps or write them down. If you're watching at home, take a picture or write those steps down, starting with replace f of x with y. Is that enough time? You want a picture of those steps because soon I'm going to move the camera and you won't see them because I can't fit everything on the board on both boards all at once. So, the rest of us, we're going to do this now. Find the inverse of a function. And the inverse, if you look at page 464, if you graph the inverse of a function, it's sort of like a reflection about a line. It's the reflection Well, you don't even really need to know that it's the reflection. We have those steps over there. If you follow the steps, this could not be easier. Are you ready? Dominic, it's not that bad. What does the first step say to do?
Replace F with X with Y.
Watch. This is going to be a toughie. Are you watching? Priscilla, this is going to be a toughie.
I'm watching.
See that f of x? We're going to put a y there.
Whoa.
I know, that's a toughie. Step 1, done. Step 2,
You have to swap X and Y.
swap x and y. Watch this. It's another toughie. Where the y is, you're going to write an x. Where the x is, you're going to write a y. I hope you can handle that. There isn't really much math so far.
I'm just writing it through. I'm
Just writing math on the Spanish word.
I'm bored.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just writing it because I want
And now we're going to solve this. This will be the math step. Solve this for y. We want to get y by itself. Well, what would you do to both sides to get y by itself? I think I would add 5. And so you get 3y equals x plus 5. Then what?
5 by 3.
Divide by 3, divide by 3. And so you get y equals x plus 5 over 3. That is the inverse. We're not quite done yet. We want it in function notation. So the symbol for the inverse of a function is that. See that? That right there is your inverse. I think that's fairly easy, right? You take out the f of x and you put a y there. Then you swap the x and y. Where the y is, you put the x. Where the x is, you put the y. After that, you just solve it for y. That'll be different depending on the equation. Once you get it solved for y, then you just take this y out and you put in that f with the little -1 of x. That's the symbol for the inverse of a function. That's it. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. That's it, Priscilla.
So no assignment?
Of course there's an
You
assignment.
said that's all you have to say. So
Well, I'm not going to say anything more. You're just going to work. Anybody with questions? Anybody with questions?
Oh, yeah. That doesn't happen very often.
We'll have it fairly easy today since the others are here. Where's Jack today?
Skipping class.
He's not in track. Here, I'll let them look. There's the assignment. Oh, I forgot to say, when you get to the inverse, it says to graph those. You don't need to graph it.